Carpenter's Hall in historic Philadelphia. This is Onslaught. And if you mess with me, Onslaught will destroy you.
Absolutely.
It's a nice Tuesday afternoon.
It's about
in the month of June. It's very warm out, hoodie weather, as you can see. Onslaught hasn't done any of the history stuff in a while. So what we're going to do today is we're going to live life like a second grader in Philadelphia.
All right.
We're going to go do the history We're going to go do the history stuff. We're going to go ring the Liberty Bell and sign the Constitution.
And this is what the internet was created for. Right? Isn't that what it is? No.
This is what the internet was created for.
Made for.
This! It's not really true. There it is. Big time.
It's like we're trying, you know. It's like we're trying. But
That's the Liberty Bell. I don't know if you heard about it. Big bell with a crack.
I'm from the Lehigh Valley. I'm from Buffalo. So when I read that it was stored in
You see, champ, you see the bottom, how it's all uneven? During the Civil War, it went on a tour, and people would just go, oh, look at the Liberty Bell, and they get a hammer and just chisel off a piece of the bottom of it. Yeah. Huh?
classy.
Back before September 11th, we used to be able to touch it, but then some lunatic attacked it with a hammer, and now we got it roped off. Can't have nice things.
I mean, you don't need to touch it, really.
Huh?
You don't need to touch it, you know what I mean? Like,
You know who gets to touch it? Blind people. If you're blind and you want
they
to...
let you read it.
Yeah. You get to touch it with your hand, yeah. And then the crack...
So,
The crack is actually a repair. Yeah. On the corner of 6th and Market stands Independence Hall Visitor Center. This is when it's not January, this is where you have to go to get tickets for Independence Hall. Huh? Yeah, dude, I eat like a beast. When you come here, there are public restrooms, and there is also a place where you could take a picture with the heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Balboa. So you get your tickets for Independence Hall here. You go in there, they give you a ticket. But usually there's a line, but while you're waiting in line, you come here and you get to do stuff. Like, hold this, champ. You come here and do this. Up and Franklin! Up and Franklin! Up and Franklin!
is that what the first prank press looked like?
Exactly. That's exactly how it happened. And then you can come here and look at this mirror and you can go, I'm William Penn! I'm William Penn!
Oh, Mrs. Penn!
You go, I'm a lady! All right, you learn a lot here. Hey, look at this. I'm John Hancock. I'm going to write my name really big. You don't know, that's the shadow. That's George Washington. I don't know if you heard about him. First president of the United States.
If you were paying attention to other things, you would learn something. Like Alice Paul.
You know what I do when I see Alice Paul? I go right past her and I look at Abraham Lincoln. I go, oh, Abraham Lincoln. I'll stop at Martin Luther King Jr. because look how tall he was compared to Abraham Lincoln. And then I get out of here. Definitely not Louis Anderson. know if he could sing, but he was a weirdo. This is Benjamin Franklin. When Ben Franklin lived, he always slept naked and with a window open. We didn't know what germs were, but he knew cold kept you safe. And he had to share a bed with John Adams when they went over to Europe. It's true. And he would sleep naked in bed with John Adams.
With the window open.
With the window open. I get it. Cheryl sleeps with the goddamn fan on all year.
I do too.
And this is my best friend, the Philly fanatic. And look, see, Liberty Bell, passing stow. Looks just like the Liberty Bell. This is where they filmed Judge Judy. Now you see that?
This is where the Congress met. When Philadelphia was the capital.
Okay. That's where John Adams became president. I think.
That's right.
That's right, okay.
More important.
It was either that or upstairs. Wow.
More importantly, that's where Adams became president, but Washington left a common citizen.
Mm-hmm.
That was the real test of the Constitution.
John, it's real. Think about it.
He left them.
He left a private. He had all the power in the world at his fingertips as president of the United States.
Left it to the Congress.
And then he left, stopped being president, and John Adams became president, and he left. He had all this power when he entered the room, and then when he left the room, he had no. He was just a citizen. It's really an amazing thing.
This was the first hall of Congress.
This is where Congress. You ever hear the term upper house, lower house?
Yeah.
So Congress met here. That was the lower house. The first Senate met right above us, and that's the upper house.
Right, because the Congress is the House of Representatives. Congress is both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Right?
The Senate.
Houses.
Right, this is just the House.
Okay.
The Senate met upstairs.
Okay.
Upper.
That's what you said.
Yeah, upper house, lower.
Well, it's just happenstance. But Washington was inaugurated for his second term upstairs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There you go.
That makes sense.
His first term.
New York, right? Okay. Wow. So there's the old-time fireplace. No, park rangers. They're, just if you ever come to Philadelphia, know this about park rangers. It's their job to protect you. They're like police, but they're also there to inform you. They have to have like college degrees of history. So if you're ever anywhere in America and you see a park ranger in a location, they should be able to tell you the history of everything. Abraham Lincoln stood at this location, and John F. Kennedy stood at this location. Now, don't you think if you were president of the United States, this would make a fantastic backdrop to give a speech? Well, the last two presidents that used this as a backdrop were assassinated. So most presidents, if they ever use Independence Hall as a backdrop, they usually do it across the street. And nobody uses Independence Hall as the active president. It's jinxed. Yeah. This is the Betsy Ross house, son. This is it. Here we are, the Betsy Ross house. And you see that placard, that like little thing?
Yeah.
In there is the body of Betsy Ross.
Really?
Yes. Well,
You mean in that way?
I'm going to tell you, and that's her grave. Wow. But I'm going to tell you, it might not be her grave. What happens is when they got dug up, and when they got buried, they didn't have coffins, so they dug up a bunch of bones near her grave, and they pray. Actually, this whole thing, kind of
sham.
Yeah, not really sure if this is Betsy Ross's house. Not really sure if Betsy Ross made the American flag. What she did do is she told everybody, you see how that star's 5-pointed? That America wanted a 6-pointed star, and Betsy Ross said, whoa.
She was like, nah.
Yo, listen, I don't want to do all that work. Let me do this in 5 stars. And if you notice...
Wait, now hold on. What was the real reason? It wasn't because she wanted to... There had to be a reason.
That's the only thing we know for sure that she did.
It has to be something symbolism related.
No, listen. No, why she made it 5-pointed?
Yeah.
And she just didn't. She was.
She was late. She was lazy. That's why there's a 5-point star.
Well, you said.